The police will hate me.
Do you want to do the intro this time?
Oh, okay. Okay. Do you want me to make... Do you want to, like...
Hello, everyone!
Just knock over the camera? No, because it's still not... You go, because we never made the last one.
Alright. Hello, humans and not humans. This is Jackson and Tyler on the podcast. This podcast doesn't float. And this is our first video. Actually, it's our second video. Our first one was a failure.
It wasn't a failure, I didn't do anything wrong, actually. It was Jackson's fault.
It was all me. My mic wasn't working. Oh. He was transferring over the videos and I was starting to edit it, put it together, and yep.
There was no audio. Long story short, we wasted a whole afternoon.
And we're hoping this one isn't always. We're hoping Jackson figured out the mic like he was supposed to, and everything goes swell.
Swell is a good word.
Swell is it's a word. Something.
So, who are we? That is the question of the day because, you know, it's the first day.
Video.
So, obviously you have to know who we are before we do anything further. So,
yes.
Who are we?
I am Jackson. This is Tyler. And, we're actually cousins, so.
Yes.
And.
But we're also best friends.
Yes. Best bromans. We, started this because we were kind of doing this anyway. We weren't recording it and like editing obviously, but we were just talking on FaceTime calls and, you know, discussing certain subjects, and we thought about it and we decided to put it into a podcast. So we're gonna see how this goes. I'm actually pretty excited.
So, you know, hopefully it all works out. And I mean, I guess he said we might as well start recording, but it does take a lot more effort to record.
Yes.
And to send the videos over, and to edit them, and to create a channel, and all of that, so you know.
We would love for you guys to subscribe and like this video.
It's hard to make videos when no one's watching, so we'd rather you guys watch than not watch. You know.
Yes.
It's as simple as that. And,
what do we hope to get out of this podcast?
Okay, so what I'm hoping to get out of this podcast is, well, sort of what we were talking about. We want to, you know, kind of grow a channel here on YouTube, even though, you know, it's kind of hard to at a later stage like this when YouTube already has so many things out there, but hopefully we do enough to get noticed. And just, I mean, obviously it's hard to get really big, but, you know, it'd be cool to just have like a semi-decent channel where we start, you know, getting some sort of money off of this.
Yes, the money would definitely be a plus. And, I have nothing better to do in my life. I'm homeschooled this year, so I have tons of free time for editing and everything. So, I mean, it's just something to do for right at this point.
That's a good point. It is just, it's a hobby that we hope turns into more of an official thing, like just like a side, like I don't think this will ever be big enough to become like a major thing, but
nothing insane.
At least for like a fun little side thing that really doesn't take any like money from us. Really, it's more just, you know, we just get to have fun and talk, and then hopefully you have fun listening to us.
Have fun, listen to us.
No, have fun and listen. They're one thing. They have fun by listening to us. They don't just have fun
by listening to us. Yes, you must have fun.
Yeah, it's just a requirement.
There's no choice.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, I just want to see where it leads. Subscribe.
Yes, subscribe, please.
Smash that like button. Leave a comment in the section.
I like it, could you?
Do all the do's.
All of them. All like 60 do's that all YouTubers tell you to do. All of them. At this point, you guys are probably wondering what this podcast is even about.
It's about us. It's about our passions, our hobbies, the things we like talking about. We're going to talk about here, rather than just talking about them and not recording them. We're just going to talk about them and record them. We're just going to, you know.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be about. So, what are we into? Well, obviously Legos.
A man has fallen into the river in Lego City.
Because of
Legos.
all this.
look behind Tyler.
Yeah. And then, you know, we like couches, because that's what Jackson's sitting in front of.
We're really into
couches. It's actually
couches.
a bed couch. He might take a nap one time. Like,
Exactly.
Like, if he ever gets tired, I might just take over and he'll just take a nap.
So I guess we should get into it.
That's the only way to do it. It's just to get in. So,
Anyway,
what's our first
I think-
segment that we're going to talk about?
let's start with Legos. Legos are fun.
I got this.
All right, top 5 sets that are out right now. We'll talk about sets that are upcoming. We'll just do 2 for each of us. But top 5 sets that are out right now.
Okay, so this is a joint list, except
Yes.
there's 6 of them because there's one thing that we have different. Okay, so starting off at number 1, what is the first one on the list, Jackson?
The first one is set 75192, the Millennium Falcon, and we're not talking about any ordinary Lego Millennium Falcon. We're talking about the 2017 7,541 piece Millennium Falcon.
Millennium Falcon costs $800 also, by the way.
This thing is ginormous. It's huge.
But it's not the biggest size Lego set.
It's not.
But it did used to have the most amount of pieces until the Colosseum came out. Just a
the
couple months ago.
Colosseum.
So now instead of having an epic legendary Lego Star Wars set as the biggest set, now we have a round brown Colosseum.
Bruh.
Which isn't on our list, so you know.
Nope.
Take what you want from that.
That one's somewhere towards the bottom of like everything for me. My like disliked list, it's at the bottom.
It's on your dislike list? I don't think it's on my disliked list. We can talk about dislike
And-
sets another day.
Yeah. Number 2 is set 75290. The MBS Mos Eisley Cantina. This set it came out this year or last year, 2020, and is 3,187 pieces. Their selection-
$350. So,
Yes,
you know.
$350. The Mos Eisley Cantina is awesome. I love this set. The build, it's okay. I'll admit the build it's not phenomenal. It's
Yeah.
cool because it's the biggest
It's
cantina
sort of-
they've made.
The Cantina build, in my opinion, is sort of like how Lego is today. Like, a lot of their set designs aren't always the best, but the way that they can do them and the way that they round everything off and the way that it looks in the end, their final product almost always looks amazing, especially with these
Yes.
Master Builder series sets. Like, they don't go wrong with the build, but sometimes it's just not exactly what we wanted from the build.
I agree. And the character selection for the set, I love it. Well, I love the amount of characters that are exclusive in the set. There's so many exclusive characters.
Like, when you look
There's
at,
a
like,
lot.
this is kind of how I see it as, is when you look at the character list, it's better than the characters themselves. And obviously all the characters are good, but the fact that characters like Han Solo and Luke Skywalker and C-3PO and R2-D2 and characters like that, they just look the same as they always have. Like, there's nothing special about them. So the only special figures in the set are really the 7 exclusive figures, but then the other 14 are just normal figures that you can find in much, much, much cheaper sets. So it's kind of a weird thing that Lego did. Like, I feel like it would have been way better if they had made more of them more exclusive prints.
And then probably the most disgusting thing about this set, I think you know what I'm going to say, is Obi-Wan's hoodie.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe I forgot because, yep, that is definitely one of the
so-
weird things that Lego has done in terms of changing character design. Usually it's in a positive direction, but every once in a while they do something that doesn't make any sense.
Stormtrooper helmets and Obi-Wan's hood.
Lego Star Wars especially has this problem every once in a while. Like, I don't know if you recall this, but remember those sets where they had like the I think it was in 2018. I think the snow speeder in it had like a normal like Rebel helmet, right? But then it had a plastic visor instead of the normal print on the face.
I remember that.
And while that sounded cool in
And it was-
reality, it
It looked
looked
weird.
so bad. Like, I don't know if it really was that bad or if it was just like everyone just seen it as something that they'd never seen it as before. I'm not exactly what the factor was that contributed to it, but it was weird.
Nobody liked it.
And Lego actually changed it back the next year, which is kind of interesting because they didn't change back the Stormtrooper helmet, and
they haven't changed back
the hood. Changed back the hood either. So I don't know what to think.
It's a mystery. Moving on, chilling at number 3 is actually a set that Tyler already has. This is probably strictly to my list. Is the Batman Classic TV series Batcave. It is set 76052 and has 2,526 pieces. I really like this set. It looks good on display at Tyler's house. You guys can't see it. It's behind you.
It's over there. Yeah, guys. In case you're wondering, this isn't all that I have. There's much more than that.
He has a lot.
There's a lot going on, but Jackson has a lot too. He just isn't sitting in front of it.
Maybe I can show you guys sometime if you're interested.
Or when he changes his setup, maybe there'll be some sets in the background.
Yeah, I could put some sets behind me. That'd be cool. About the set, there's a few funny things. Joker has a half mustache. I think Tyler can tell you a little bit more about that than I can.
Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously I know a lot more about the set than Jackson does because I own it. But that also means that I don't know if I were Jackson now, if I would put this on my list. Because as cool as it is, it's definitely not like one of the all-time greats in my opinion. And that's just because of like the build itself. It's not very like intricate. It's a very flat build. I mean, it's very cool in terms of like its size and all the things that come in it, especially the characters. The characters are probably like the highlight of the set. But in terms of like the set in general, especially considering the $270 that it originally sold for, like that is a ton of money for a $2,500 set. I mean, 2,500 piece set, because usually that you only see that sort of thing in like Lego Star Wars, because that theme's usually just a little more expensive just because it's Star Wars. But in terms of like this Batcave, honestly, the one that he has, the Lego Batman movie Batcave, has better building techniques than the one that I have. But this one is just cooler in general just because of the size and like the rarity of the figures in it and stuff.
Yes. A lot of exclusive characters. Should we move on to number 4? Do you have anything else to say about this one?
I'll add in one of my on the top 5. So the one that I have in the top 5 that would replace this Batcave, because obviously I have the Batcave, would be the motorized AT-AT. And I don't know if you know about this set or know if it exists, but you should. If you like Lego and you like Star Wars, then you better know this motorized AT-AT exists, and no, it didn't just come out or something like that. You're not missing out on something like that. It came out in 2007, and it has been retired for quite a while now. And you can find it sealed for like $550 on eBay.
It's a cool set, guys, and the price is just gonna keep going up. There's gonna be less and less sealeds of this set. It's awesome. It's motorized, obviously, in the name, and it's crazy. It's just really cool. It's a cool set.
Yeah, so it has like obviously like not everything is perfect about the set because it's a 2007 set. So some of the building techniques are kind of weird, and it doesn't quite look like the right dimensions of an AT-AT, but just the fact that it can walk is just amazing to me. It's incredible, and honestly, if I were to buy any old retired sealed Lego Star Wars set, it would be that one.
Absolutely. Moving on to number 5, the UCS Ewok Village.
It's a Lego Star Wars party in our top 5 list, guys.
There's a lot of cool Lego Star Wars sets. So, as I said, the Ewok Village. This came out 2013. It is 1,990 pieces, and it's a really cool set. They did just a really good job overall with everything. There's some fun characters in this set. The trees look really nice. It'd be awesome for Lego to redo this set. It'd be so cool to see it again on shelves.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably one of my tops on what I want Lego to redo, for sure.
Definitely. And they could do a really cool job with it too. The leaves, there's definitely less leaves than like a normal tree on the Ewok village.
Obviously, there's the only thing that this set doesn't have is exclusive figures. Like, the only one that it comes with is the Princess Leia, like the Ewok Village Princess Leia. But that's the only exclusive figure, and while it's the only time we've ever seen that figure, it's only one exclusive figure for such like a big set. Like, it's one downfall of its figures to me. But I mean, you do get like a ton of Ewoks, and you get, all the major characters, but just the fact that it only comes with one exclusive figure is definitely something that, people probably thought about when it was available in 2013.
And I regret not buying it in 2013.
Well, we were broke in 2013, so...
It's true. Moving on. We have, as what, number... I think we're on 6 now. An Unexpected Gathering, set 79003, and this has...
The struggle is real for Jackson reading a set number.
Yeah. It's like a big number, okay? I don't know.
That's the wrong number.
This set's small. It's not a big set. It's only 652 pieces. It came out 2012.
Which is honestly a little surprising because it looks
It
massive.
looks big. It doesn't look that small.
It honestly
There's a
looks
lot of
really
room
big.
space. The character selection's pretty good. It comes with
Wait, you said what
everyone
it
you
was,
really
right?
need. It's a Hobbit set, so before Lord of the Rings set. And it's cool. It's Bilbo Baggins' house. This set's cool. The character selection's pretty great. It comes with all the characters you really need from The Hobbit. Of course, there's more that they don't have, but
Yeah, honestly, I'd be
Yeah.
okay if the only set that I ever got from The Hobbit was this set. Because
100%
it literally has everyone. And if they made a remake of it, you made a good point last time we were talking about this, is that they should have Lord of the Rings figures and Hobbit figures. Because
yes.
both groups revolve around this house in the Unexpected Gathering Lego set. I think that'd be really cool.
Mhm.
And honestly, if somehow, which I doubt, if one of the Lego Ideas sets makes it through, because there are actually like a ton that just made it through.
There's quite a few.
For like the Shire and that little house. If one of them does, they better do that, because that'd be real. That'd just be a genius idea. Like it.
Absolutely. It would
Yeah.
sell so much better too. And Lego's done it in the past. I was telling Tyler this last time we filmed. Even just the new sets like Diagon Alley, they have the 2 older Weasleys in the set, and then younger Harry Potter, Hermione, and Ron, and Draco Malfoy. And the timelines don't quite match up there, but it's okay because you get a great character selection.
Yeah.
Like from just normal figures.
Yeah, and obviously that's a little different just because they are still from the same story.
Yes.
But
Yes.
obviously, Lego could do it. Like, there's a couple things that I'd like to see Lego do it with. Like, even with like if they were to ever make like a Slave 1 set again, even though they just retired one, but if they were to do it again, then I think it'd be really cool if they put like Mandalorian figures and Boba Fett figures. Like, they put original trilogy
Yes.
and Mandalorian figures. I think that'd be another one of those sets where they really could thrive off of doing something like that. Or even like they
Very big
could
brain.
sell the same set but with different figures on shelves. Like think about this. Like, what if Lego, they come out with like an Unexpected Gathering set, and then after like a year, they just switch out the figures, and then it's Lord of the Rings figures. Like, obviously that wouldn't be as preferred because you're getting the same set again. But
it's doable. It
It's
would
doable.
still work.
and Lego might be more willing to do that sort of thing rather than mixing timelines like that. But I really don't know. I don't know what would happen.
It's an interesting theory.
The only time that they've actually ever have really done this is the Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon.
Yes, I agree. Because those are 2, like, almost completely different stories.
Yeah, and then the figure, the Chewie is like, he can be like crossed over to the other side. He's like for both of them. That's kind of how I
Yeah.
see Gandalf as. Like, if they made that, then Gandalf would be that figure that literally is the same figure for both sides. So I mean, obviously,
Crossover.
there's crossover in terms of the figure selection. So the top 2 upcoming sets is what we're going to talk about next. So
Okay, so this is just This is the list of top upcoming sets. I think we have 3. We may add more as we keep talking.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's 3 that we want to talk about.
right now,
2 of them are unknown, and then one of them just got set pictures released like today. Obviously, you'll be watching this later, but when we're talking right now, they were like just revealed today on Lego.com.
I'll be playing them in one of these 2 corners. I don't know which one.
Maybe just across the whole screen.
It'll cover us both up. You won't be able to see us for a second.
Oh, make sure it doesn't cover my good side.
Look at this. This is my good side, Tyler. This whole
thing.
This whole side. I just had
There's no
the
such
saxophone
thing as a
music
backside.
playing.
Okay. And we're off on a tangent. Alright. Talk about the first one on the list, Jackson.
Alright, first one on the list is the giant plated Death Star. Now, this is also UCS. The possibilities coming out is pretty big. Not confirmed. There's a few other things they could do with it. But if they did come out with a giant plated Death Star, I gotta say, I'd be very tempted to buy it. Very, very tempted.
Yeah, honestly, I think the biggest thing that might come down to in terms of the Death Star versus the Millennium Falcon is the character selection in it. I think that I'd prefer having a gigantic Millennium Falcon over having a gigantic Death Star. That's kind of how I feel. But what it comes down to is the character selection in it could be really cool. So like you're wondering, like, Tyler, what does that mean? And what I mean is, Lego could put every single important original trilogy character into this Death Star set, because literally every single important original trilogy character is involved with a Death Star. You're like towering over me now.
Pathetic. Have you seen that meme?
No.
Anyway, guys, if there's any camera changes,
It's because Jackson's bad.
The door's open. Sorry, my camera battery was running low, so I had to change it. That's what happened there. Yeah, let's move on to the Lego gunship.
The
All right.
gunship. The gunship.
Gunship. All right, the gunship is really freaking cool, and I was telling this to the camera before the battery died, and I was rudely interrupted, that I'm more excited for this gunship than the Death Star.
Yeah.
I feel like
And the reason
this
for that
gunship could turn out cool.
The reason for that is not just because of that, but also because we actually had the budget to buy a gunship.
Yeah.
Where
the budget's there.
on the Death Star side, we don't just have like $800 or $800+ obviously, because it's gonna be more than Millennium Falcon, but we don't have that kind of money just sitting around for Lego, or yeah.
Just for anything in general. And characters I hope are in this set include like Commander Cody. It'd be really cool to see another Rex.
Yeah.
I don't really want to see Jedi other than Jedi Bob.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if he was the one leading the clone troopers. So this set is going to cost $200. We do know that. We know that this set's going to cost $200. And the set that I keep thinking back to whenever I think about like sort of what the gunship is in my mind is the Tanta V4. Because it's a $200 set. It has figures, but it also is, like it's basically a UCS set. So the gunship will obviously be more UCS stylized than the Tanta V4. But I think that the 6 figures that we see in the Tanta V4 will be about how many we get from this gunship. That's my guess.
And hopefully they're good characters, because
and while it would
that's
be
also
cool
going to decide
get,
it for me.
Obviously, I would prefer more figures and just shoving a ton of clone troopers in. Lego just doesn't do that with their sets.
With UCS sets.
Well, with any sets. They never shove clone troopers in except for like in battle packs. There's always like a couple.
Dang, I guess you're right.
Like 2 is like the magic number for Lego when it comes to normal troopers. Like when you think about any set, there's 2 troopers.
Oh, you're right. Except for even even the set with Ahsoka in it. They just came out with that.
Oh yeah. Yep.
They only
droids.
have the one trooper, but they have
They have the
droids.
two droids.
The two droids.
Yep. See, it's Lego's magic
you go.
number when it comes to mass troops in Lego sets. We'll call it Tyler's Law. I've coined it. It's Tyler's Law.
Tyler's a lot.
Lego?
It's like
Shall put 2 troopers in every set. That involves
declared.
troopers. It's been declared.
It's like the declaration now. I'm gonna sign it.
Yeah, it's the bill of sinkable items. I don't know. The podcast doesn't float. Gabe, what are you doing? I just look over and Jackson's upside down.
I moved to Australia pretty.
Whatever's
really quick.
opposite of the United States.
Yeah, Australia.
Jackson.
Third set, number 3. This is a really cool set. We have pictures for it now. They were recently released.
It's been confirmed. It's going to be available to...
Being confirmed. It's gonna happen.
As of right now, it hasn't
Drum
been
roll.
that by the time this episode is released, it will be
should be out.
available to all VIP card holders at least.
Yeah, I can see that happening. And this set is... Drumroll. A third piece to What happened?
Oh no, I cut off your dramatic drum roll on accident. I didn't mean to. I thought you were stalling.
Redo dramatic drum roll. Ready? All right, you ready? Dramatic drum roll. Right back at it. We're spinning back through. Dramatic. A third piece to Ninjago City. He has one. I have the other. One of us is gonna get the third, and then we'll have all of them.
Both of us are gonna get the third one.
Hopefully.
At least I am.
And then
I'm planning on getting
I'll
this one.
think about it.
I'm planning on this one. Like the 2
pretty good
sets
set.
that I want to have by the end of this year are the Gardens and the Gunship. Those are the 2. That's kind of my wish list as of... Like obviously, there's those like other ones, but the Gardens and the Gunship aren't out yet, so they couldn't be on that list.
I just went like this.
So yeah, so this set is amazing. It's absolutely
It's got character selections. I'll be playing pictures so you guys can
Ninjago
see.
City on steroids, because
It's literally
it's
Ninjago
like,
City on steroids.
It's like a whole
So many secrets.
It's like a whole story taller. It has like 1,000 times better character selection, and it costs $100 more. So basically just one-upping Ninjago City in every single way, and it makes me a lot less sad about not owning Ninjago City, because now I can go and get the Gardens and just
It makes me sad about not owning the docks.
because see that picture that Jackson's showing. It's showing connected to the docks. But I mean, obviously
it's supposed to connect to the docks.
Obviously, he can connect it to the city still. I thought it was gonna be like on the other corner of the city, but apparently Lego thought they should do me a favor and connect it to the docks. So.
Props to Lego. That's just how they do.
Okay, based off of what you know about the set already, what is your favorite thing about it?
This actually might sound a little stupid, but it's just a minifigure in it. I'm really excited for that kid Lloyd.
Oh, the young Lloyd?
Yes.
That's a good one.
That's gonna be really cool to see.
He was in the Destiny's Bounty set, which you should have bought, but he was in that set.
But I didn't.
And he was like in his more iconic young Lloyd like clothing. So, I mean, obviously, like take it as you may, but I like this Lloyd just a little better, just because we've actually
He's wearing the suit.
We've never gotten this figure from Lego before, believe it or not. We've never gotten a young Lloyd in a ninja suit. Like, obviously you can like combine your pieces together and make a young Lloyd in a ninja suit, but we've never been given one by Lego. So it's
gonna be cool to see.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that one. What I'm the most excited.
What would you say?
What my favorite part about it was actually something that I showed to you a little bit earlier, is the fact that there's a titanium ninja statue in the garden, which I think is really cool, because that's like a direct relation to the show. It's sort of like the part of the show that I really remember and stuff, because I'm not really like that into Ninjago anymore. But the nostalgia factor is is what really makes me want to get that set. It's just because of all the cool little things that are references to the original TV show.
A lot of cool references. I think that's it for this list, unless there's anything else you can think about talking about.
I mean, obviously there's plenty of things, but we should probably get a move on.
Keep moving.
Because we kind of spent a lot on Lego, and obviously we're not going to only talk about Lego. This is
kind of a
supposed to show you
preview
everything
episode.
we're going to talk about. So, you know, we better move on before we miss out on all that other stuff.
Yes. All right. Next up, we're going to be talking about all the Disney Plus upcoming stuff. I'm going to have a video of them playing through for the ones that we don't talk about, because there's a lot coming out.
There's, yes, just mega montage.
Lots. And actually, let's talk about that. They announced a lot at the same time. And Tyler said this last video, he doesn't think it's, I agree with him, that it wasn't really a smart move to tell us so much at a time. Especially when it's not all going to be coming out right now. It's probably going to come out over like the next 5 years, which is crazy. And that's just like, they just introduced so much. It wasn't really necessary.
Yeah,
I think
honestly,
they
I would
could
have been fine just like with them announcing like even just like a few from each theme, like a few from Marvel, a few from Star Wars.
Yes.
Like if they just announced even just a few of those, I would have been hyped enough. But then it just kept coming, and it's like, oh my
They
goodness.
still
like,
are too. Like they just announced the Book of Boba Fett. Yes.
Was announced like a week later on the last Mandalorian episode, and then there's other things that could be happening. Like I don't know if you knew this, but something that we probably won't mention because it's not on the list, so I don't think we're gonna mention it. But Rick Riordan has apparently been in talks with Disney Plus to make like a television series.
That could be cool. I didn't actually know that. That's gonna be cool to see.
Yeah. So as of like an article that I saw like in November, like in late November, that's what was happening. So I don't know if it's still going on, but at least there was plans for it to happen. So we'll see what happens with that.
And some of the upcoming stuff that we know about and we're going to talk about include The Bad Batch, Book of Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Jackson
Boba
needs to
Fett.
learn, guys.
This is actually something I struggle with, guys. I really like Boba Fett, but I call him Boba
My
Fett.
name is Jackson. My strange addiction is calling him Boba Fett.
It's Boba Fett, guys. I promise. Don't say
Oh man,
Boba
that show's
Fett
so
like
weird.
me. It's gonna be weird.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, another one. Rangers of the Republic.
Rangers of the Republic, Ahsoka, the
Acolyte.
Acolyte. I think that's how you
No,
say
it's
it.
just called the Acolyte.
Acolyte.
Let's go back and forth. Okay, say the next one.
Eternals,
The Black Widow.
Loki,
Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
So I don't know any of the other ones.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Doctor Strange, and the Multiverse of Madness.
So I didn't put those on my list because they weren't going to Disney Plus. They were just, that was the overall Disney announcement. So I didn't think to put those ones on. But yeah, those are good points. Yeah.
So there's just a huge list of things.
Yeah, just a ton of things that are coming.
It's gonna be cool.
But obviously we don't know. Well, the one thing that I put on my list that could easily not go into Disney Plus, but I honestly have no idea what's going on, is Black Widow. Like I don't know how they're gonna release it. Obviously they're planning on that May release date right now. I think right now it's planned for like the end of May. But who knows where we're gonna be at the end of May in terms of all this stuff going on right now. So we'll just take it as it comes. But as of right now, it's not planned to be released on Disney Plus, but I'd be shocked if they continued to hold it off after May and didn't just release it on Disney Plus at that point.
Is there a few you just want to talk about specifically? Like, I guess the Bad Batch. I'm really excited for that. What I've heard of it is it's basically just going to be another season of Clone Wars. And who doesn't want just another season of Clone Wars? It happens after Order 66, so it's going to be like about the Bad Batch. I'm not quite sure the details. What's her face in the trailer? What's her face from Mandalorian looks like she's in it.
That was just kind of interesting because
What's her
I don't
name?
know how she would be. I don't know. I
I'll
always
put it
forget
up.
Her name.
There's her name.
She's like literally every single time I see her I just see the actor from Agents of Shield. I
Yeah.
can't see anything. I can't remember her name because all I see is May. So that's something. But yeah, I don't remember her name. But the only thing that makes her really confused is how in the world, like it must be like a really young version of her. Because,
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because
probably
that's like a
Ahsoka,
long time in the past.
Maybe she's like about like Ahsoka's age. That's my guess. I'm guessing she's about Ahsoka's age.
That would make sense. And then Ahsoka, that's another fun one. And this is kind of leading off of The Mandalorian and Rebels. So in Rebels, she's hunting down the Inquisitors. I haven't finished Rebels yet, so Tyler can probably tell you a little bit more about that.
Oh yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about to talk about the Ahsoka TV show if you haven't finished Rebels yet. You need to finish that, Jackson, because
Skip ahead
Ahsoka's
right
gonna
here.
Be all about like the season finale.
Yeah. So anyway, in the season finale, Ahsoka's hunting down somebody.
Ahsoka is. So I'm sure most of you know Ahsoka's mission, and Jackson is just bad and he doesn't know yet. But Ahsoka's gonna be. It's gonna be all about Ahsoka doing what she started up that quest in the season the series finale of Rebels. And then that also will be tied into the Rangers of the New Republic TV show. So, and then right now, what a lot of people think are going to happen, because Disney's like come out and said that Ahsoka and Mandalorian and Rangers of the New Republic are all in the same like time frame. What they think is going to happen is like there's going to be like a gigantic crossover thing where they all come together and they go up against like it could be really cool. And whoever. Obviously, the bad guy is probably going to be Thrawn. I mean, that just seems like the most likely candidate, but, I mean, we'll see what happens when it gets to that point.
And Thrawn's the blue guy, right?
Yep.
Whoa, that's going to be cool.
Yeah, he's literally like, he's like probably my favorite Star Wars villain. He's so
Definitely.
Cool.
I've heard that from a ton of people, too. I was actually talking to my other friend about it the other day, and he was like, yeah, Thrawn's up there. He's like one of the ones who's up there who's not like totally insane, but still has like a really cool battle tactic.
Alright, what's the next one?
Eternals. And nobody knows what this is really about yet. It's some relation to the Infinity Stones, I've heard, and I think our biggest leak on this set so far from me and Tyler has been the Lego sets that have been released for it.
Yes, because obviously it isn't that big of a leak, but at least we know it's coming, because they're like going to make Lego sets that are going to release in like March. So, I mean, obviously there's like the set list that has all the different figures, and there are a ton of different figures apparently.
So many. I don't think
literally every single set doesn't have a similar figure.
For real.
So that's kind of cool. So, hopefully I don't like fall in love with the Eternals movie. It's kind of interesting how many sets they're making for this movie, in my opinion. Like, because who knows how good it's going to be.
Lego's kind of chancing it with this one.
Because Eternals is sort of like a new beginning for Marvel, and you never know how it's going to pan out. So it's kind of interesting how they decided to go with this tactic and make like 5 sets, is it? Or is it 6? Something like that.
Yeah. And there's this big red guy, and he's apparently their leader. He looks like one of the...
he looks like a Bionicle.
Yeah. He looks like a Bionicle. He also kind of looks like one of the Infinity Stone like monsters that are shown in Infinity War and Guardians of the Galaxy. You know?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know, like the big ones. He's like purple guy's staff. It's like everyone's wiped out.
Oh, we're talking about the Kree man? I'm so confused.
No, it's the big like stone monster. He's huge, and he's like
big stone monster.
in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Are you talking about the guy in the first one?
Okay, so
You're talking about Ronan?
then when they're with the collector, right? And the
Uh-huh.
collector is explaining to them the power of the Infinity Stones.
Uh-huh.
And he's showing them a video of a big monster.
Oh.
And he's like purple and he's like...
I'm so confused.
Alright, I'll just...
Or you can put the picture they make me look like an idiot. Not knowing what you're talking about. Okay. So yeah, Eternals.
Eternals.
That could also end up being on Disney Plus, depending on, how long the whole pandemic movie theater thing lasts. So, we'll take it by ear and see where this thing goes.
Yes. Talk about Black Widow first.
Okay, so we already kind of talked about Black Widow, but you say what you want to say about it, because that's pretty much what I wanted to say.
Alright, then let's not do Black Widow. Moving on
That's all you wanted to say?
I didn't have anything I wanted to say. Moving on to Loki. This actually sounds like it'll be really interesting. It's gonna be a crime thriller, which is something the Marvel Universe has never really done. And
Yep.
it'll be fun to see how they play it out. Like, if they do a good job with it or not. Because obviously they've really stuck to that action. Really sticking to the action. It's gonna be interesting to see how they do that. Yeah.
Well, what I see this as is they've suddenly taken this turn for a way more complex storyline. The ones I'm thinking of specifically are WandaVision and Loki.
Yes.
They both seem to have this really in-depth crazy thing going on that you won't understand unless you pay attention for every single second of watching the show. So I mean, hopefully, which is kind of interesting because Marvel's always decided to turn away from that, especially because Marvel is more of it's definitely more geared towards families and adults. So because it's more geared towards families, they need to make it simple enough that kids still know what's going on. So I don't know exactly, I hope that it's not too complicated, that doesn't come back to bite them in a way where they just don't know how to finish it off. It's kind of interesting what's happening. I think it's kind of good that they're taking a turn because obviously the old Marvel formula it's a good movie, but I mean it could definitely if they kept doing it over and over again for years and years, it would get old.
Yeah.
But I still hope that they have movies like that. I think Eternals will be that sort of movie. I think that Winter Soldier and the Falcon will be that sort of TV show. I think it'll be more of the Marvel formula. So we'll still get that, but then we'll also have a breath of fresh air from different things that they come out and create.
And I honestly wonder how Marvel's even stepped up their game over quarantine. I wonder if anything's changed because obviously over the years, Marvel effects and everything have become better and better. I wonder if anything's happened over quarantine, if anything's increased, if anything's become easier for them.
Mm-hmm.
How the Mandalorian's been using their setup is literally a landscape circle around their platform area. It's interesting.
Yeah, and they just have a screen around the entire thing, and they just stand in the center of it and do whatever they're told to do. So it's a pretty unique idea.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's sort of I wonder if these first ones might look better. They might even look better than ones in the future, just because they've had so much time to go over and polish all of the special effects and things like that in these movies. Obviously, the story won't be any different because they're not going to go out and refilm everything, but the special effects could be more polished just because they've had nothing better to do in terms of special effects and things like that. But I mean, obviously, they can now finally turn to things that are coming out in the future because they're finally setting release dates for movies and they're moving on to the next phase of things and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we might see almost better than what they have in the future in these next ones.
All right. So anything else you want to talk about?
Not really. For the audience who actually watches this video, thank you. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for taking your time. We'd love input on what you guys would like us to talk about, what interests you have, how you feel about what we talked about just in general. Your input would be awesome. We'd love for you guys to subscribe.
Let us know what we did wrong. Let us know what we
Yes.
should change for the next one too, because we like to hear from you guys, and we want to make sure that we're bringing forth things that people are interested in rather than just just doing whatever we feel like. That doesn't float. And we really hope to see you in the next one.